McCurdy to the microphone. Let's give him a warm welcome.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. How we doing? I know the food is good. Looks like the drinks are flowing over there, and everyone has been thoroughly enjoying themselves. My name is William McCurdy II. I am the Commissioner for Clark County, representing District D, where I've had the privilege to serve since 2020. And prior to that, I was in the state legislature creating state law. And I am very privileged to be here today as we engage in different breakout sessions about how we can literally grow our community, expand our opportunities, and ensure that the lives of future generations are as fruitful as they can be, because we are showing up here today. I want to welcome you to Clark County. For those of you who have flown in, we oversee the Department of Aviation, which includes Harry Reid International Airport. We also oversee the Las Vegas Strip, responsible for all social services in Clark County, and we have been working feverishly to create opportunities within what I'm sure you have heard about with this, the Historic West Side. The Historic West Side, as Kathy stated, and I got to thank Kathy for her leadership and her vision for bringing us together. Let's give Kathy a round of applause. And I have to give a special shout out to Ron Hens, the Executive Director of NDCC, who I had an opportunity to have a conversation with as he was going through the planning phases. And really, as we are beginning to think about what we just experienced collectively within the pandemic and all the dollars that landed into the states and was given down to counties, we had to think about how we were going to make sure that with those dollars, communities that have been historically divested from had an opportunity to really be rebuilt by an infusion of those dollars. So the city of Las Vegas, Clark County, I know that you heard from Councilman Cedric Greer yesterday, and he talked about some of the investments that the city has made in urban farming, indoor urban farming, as well as outdoor with the Oboto project here. But also we're working on economic prosperity and opportunities for members within our district and our ward as well. In Clark County, we received nearly $400 million in ARPA, American Rescue Plan dollars. And as soon as we received those dollars, I met with our county manager and I asked and really demanded that we take a responsibility in making sure that we inform the community about the dollars and asking the community how those dollars should be invested. And as you can probably imagine, the top three things that came about is we want jobs, we want opportunities with entrepreneurship, and we want improved social services and investments within our nonprofits so that we ourselves can rebuild our communities. And after listening to the community, and I've been in the district my entire life, my family has been in Las Vegas since the late 30s, early 40s. So we've seen a lot of growth, but not a lot of growth within the Historic West Side, in which where I grew up at. So we allocated $120 million into building more affordable housing in Clark County, and we received over $70 million in direct investments for housing right in the Historic West Side and adjacent to the Historic West Side. We also seeded a lot of our nonprofits who have been doing the work for far too long without proper government funding. So we seeded millions of dollars into our nonprofits to make sure that they had the resources that they need to help us with things like utility assistance, rental assistance, as well as starting new projects that were conceived literally during the pandemic. So now we're at a place today where we are gaining information. But information is only as good as the application of once you receive it. And I'm looking forward to, for those of you who are locals, I know we got Mass Liberation Project in-house. I know that we have Plan representative. I know we have a few organizations that I've had an opportunity to work with, West Side Development Group in the building, and others. And I'm looking forward to sitting down and hearing some of the thoughts that you have after coming from this, what I know is a very fruitful discussion, and working with you to continue to do the work. And I want to say that also that we have invested right in one location, $37 million for a micro business park and housing development. And this was also something that was brought forward, not only during my time running for office, but also something that was brought forward and lifted up during the course of conversations. So the goal with that micro business park is to bring in new and emerging entrepreneurs, allow them to do business in the site. We have 6 retail spaces, 10,000 square feet downstairs, 10,000 square feet upstairs, as well as housing on the same site. So it's one campus that literally can feed itself, as well as helping the entrepreneurs gain access to opportunities in education to grow their businesses, scale their businesses, and then we're going to help them transition into their own brick and mortar. And they're going to do that all rent-free for up to 5 years. So these are the types of things that can come about when you have folks who are showing up, who are being involved, and also who are holding those who are elected to office accountable. And I also want to give a shout out to Clay T. White, who is also here, who is helping to literally rebuild the historic West Side by making sure that we have a very thorough knowledge of our history through oral histories, as well as making sure that those who have blazed the trail for people like myself, those stories are never forgotten, but instead we're able to track and identify the things that they've done and find inspiration in their work. So I thank Clay T. White as well for her work. And I have a few presentations to give. The first is to Mr. Ron Hantz. And this is on the Board of County Commissioners, where we oversee all of Clark County, all 2.4 million residents and representing over 40 million visitors a year. And I won't read the whole thing, but I'll just say, whereas it is a policy and pleasure of the Board of County Commissioners to honor and recognize the countless achievements and contributions made by individuals and organizations within and around our community. The Network for Developing Conscious Communities, NDCC, is a national not-for-profit organization created and run by members supporting conscious community development and practice. And I'll skip a few lines, but it says, whereas the Network for Developing Conscious Communities strive to renew and inspire collective consciousness in community development through international engagement that builds sustainable power and work collaboratively with partners to confront the spiritual, cultural, and economic disconnect that exists in Black communities regarding wealth, leadership, capacity building, and elevating collective ownership. Everybody say collective ownership.
Collective ownership.
And I think we could do a little bit better in that row. Say collective ownership.
Collective ownership.
And we gonna really grow and prosper. I believe that. And whereas we, the Board of County Commissioners of Clark County, Nevada, do hereby proclaim and recognize this week, starting yesterday, the first day of June 2023, as Network for Developing Consciousness Communities Week in Clark County for the lasting imprint and contribution to Southern Nevada. And I would like to see this be an annual conference here in Las Vegas. All right. All right, we have another special award presentation. This individual needs no introduction. Dr. Jessica Gordon Nembhard, author of Collective Courage, A History of African American Cooperative Economic Thought and Practice, and inducted into the U.S. Cooperative Hall of Fame. Dr. Gordon Nembhard is a political economist specializing in cooperative economics, community economic development, and community-based asset building, racial wealth inequity, solidarity economics, Black political economy, and community-based approaches to justice. She is a member of the Cooperative Economics Council, the International Cooperative Alliance Committee and on Cooperative Research, and faculty fellow and mentor with the Institute for the Study of Employee Ownership and Profit Sharing at Rutgers University School of Management and Labor Relations, and an affiliate scholar with the Center for Study of Cooperatives, University of Saskatchewan, Canada. Gordon Nembhard is also a past board member of the Association of Cooperative Educators, a past fellow with the Center on Race and Wealth at Howard University, and a member and past president of the National Economic Association. Please put your hands together, and if you are interested in this, please stand for Dr. Gordon Nembhard. And the award stands in recognition of your outstanding contributions to Black cooperative and solidarity endeavors, demonstrating visionary leadership and an unwavering commitment to equitable practices to advance the cause of Black cooperative economics and uplift Black communities. We are proud to honor and celebrate your many accomplishments. May your legacy continue. I'm going to say that again. May your legacy continue to inspire future generations of Black cooperatives to strive for excellence and to build, one more time, build a more just and equitable world. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. Thank you so very much. I did write down a few things because I figured I'd be pretty emotional and I wouldn't be able to remember everything I want to say. So the main thing is just to thank everybody. I've been so inspired being here this week, seeing everybody, and I did not expect anybody to read this book. Or, no, I shouldn't say that. I thought maybe about 25 people would read the book. My publishers, I was mad with them because the book was so expensive, right? And they promised me that as soon as they sold out whatever it was, the first 500 or 250 hard copies, they would have paperbacks, right? And I was like, oh gosh. And I said, well, how long is it going to take you to sell out, 25, 250 or whatever books? They said, oh, 6 months, maybe a year. And I was through with them. Well, thanks to all of you, within a month, they put out the paperback. So they had to continue to keep printing it. In fact, I'm told that I'm one of their best-selling authors. And this is a small academic press, I guess, as you all know, Pennsylvania State University Press, but they're not really used to this kind of attention either. So, that's all you guys did this. So, I don't even know what to say. I'm so touched and honored. When Ron asked me if I was going to come, I was like, yeah, I want to, but I don't really travel that much. And he was like, well, you need to come. We've got an honor for you. And, Black folks are honoring you. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I have to come. So thank you. I'm equally as excited and moved just to see you all here and to see that this is happening and that you're moving on. We've been talking about succession planning, and I'm not that good a succession planner, partly because I've always been a reluctant leader, and I use that word leader carefully because I'm not even sure I'm really a leader, but anyway, I guess I am. And so I don't do a good job with succession planning, but I haven't even had to do that, right? So I haven't had to market the book very much, and you all are doing the succession planning. And that's also a tribute, again, to movement and to people, right? It's never about one person. It's not about me, right? And the journey I took for this book, it was really about, I couldn't understand why we couldn't talk about a Black cooperative economics movement, because it just seemed so logical, normal to me that we had one. But everywhere I went originally, whether I was in white co-op spaces, some of you know this story already, but I guess I'll repeat it. Whether I was in white co-op spaces or black community spaces, every time I brought up black co-op economics, people were like, yeah, what, right? The white folks said, oh, sounds good, but we don't know about any, right? Even though there was the whole Federation of Southern Cooperatives in the South, but I guess I started talking about urban co-ops, so people didn't make the connection, and it took me a while to make the connection too, that there was actually one black organization. But the white folks couldn't tell me, right, all they could do with their history was talk about what the Europeans did. And then there were a few black folks attending the meetings. Then when I would go to talk to black communities about using this strategy, they all looked at me like, oh, that's a white thing, right? That's black folks, we don't do that, we don't cooperate, we don't do that. And it was like, no, it doesn't make any sense, right? So luckily I have some good friends and colleagues, and I started talking to people and found people who were just as interested in this, and slowly we started to be able to put together the stories and the history. It took almost 15 years to get it published, partly because the information is not, I think someone said that earlier too, but you all mostly said everything already, but the information was not there. I had to go deep and do what's called the snowball effect, right? Find out about one thing, and then from that thing to find out about another thing. And, you know, luckily I had enough money to send a few people to do archival work and look through black newspapers and magazines for references, chase something here and there. I started reading black autobiographies once I realized that we actually had black leaders through history who talked about this, but again, it wasn't what got them noticed, right? Even W.B. Du Bois, right? We know about his 20th century is the century of the color line, right? But we don't know in 1907, he also said, you know, we're at the crossroads. We can either stay on the capitalist road, or we can go the co-op road, right? And do a group economy that would really make all of us wealthy. We're still at the crossroads, but we're inching over.
Yeah.
So just was able to put it bits and pieces. And then, when I started to tell the stories, I started getting black folks telling me, oh yeah, my grandparents did that. Oh yeah, my aunt and uncle have been involved in that. And suddenly the light bulb started to go off. And then I got more and more people coming telling me about co-ops, more and more people connecting with me. And so it really was that, again, somebody else said it, right, when you get away from the terminology and you get to talk about what people actually do, that it also started to make sense to everybody. So I slowly persevered. I was also raising 2 children by myself. I was trying to have a career in academia. I was trying to make the rounds and learn all I could, but finally the book came out, and as I said, I just thought, okay, at least I've got it published. I was worried, actually, I almost didn't publish it because I was like, I don't know enough yet. There's not enough information here, right? I could never follow any one story to the end. Right? Sometimes I knew the beginning, not the middle or the end. Sometimes I knew the end and not the beginning. But anyway, I finally decided, you know what? If I don't publish it now, I'm never going to publish it. And I still got people who said, oh, you left this co-op out, or oh, why didn't you know? It's like, you know what? I did my best.
Yes.
And now the best, you know, it's the best that you can do it, and you're doing it, right? And Stacy's updating, you know, starting to do new stuff, and right? So you're all also doing it, and that was what I wanted. I wanted to start something that I didn't have to finish, that you all could do, and that you could see that you could do, right? I was also, I mean, I am an academic, but I also try to, you know, I was taught that that we use knowledge to make change and to help make the world better. And so my purpose was not to put something esoteric out there, but something out there that would start something that other people could keep doing. And so I think you guys are the proof that worked. So I think I should stop now. Let me see. Anything else I thought I should say? Oh yeah. So I just want to leave you with what I learned from Samuel Hamer, Helena Wilson, Du Bois, John Lewis, and others. We can't achieve racial justice without economic democracy and economic justice. But we also can't achieve economic justice without racial justice. So we've got to combine the movements. The movements have to be all together, right? This movement, us here, is essential to making that progress. And I believe because of the values and processes our economic solidarity and democracy work do and reflect that we are moving forward to minimizing and eliminating economic exploitation and oppression and moving ourselves toward human liberation. Thank you.
Collective courage. I don't think so. You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing old school. It's called Analog Bookstore. It's a black bookstore here.
All right, thank you, Commissioner McCurdy. We appreciate your time today, and let's give Dr. Jesse another round of applause.
Ron Baker, where you at? Ron Baker, where you at? Ron Baker, where you at? Okay, we're gonna take a group picture. All right? All right. So Ron, where would you want us? Where? Everybody up front. We're gonna take a group picture.